Dan Bongino. Dan, where did I go wrong?
You didn't. So I got a couple of things to say about this topic, as I usually do. Number one, it's just really weird how the Democrats keep changing their story about January 6th. Did you all notice this out there in the Fox audience? When they want to pin January 6th on Donald Trump and say Donald Trump instigated a riot, they don't mention any of the planning. He did it. He said, do this, and he ordered everyone, and they followed his orders. And then when they want to indict all of conservative America and people who just showed up there and acted peacefully, it was a small subset of people, what do? They say, no, this was planned in advance. So what was it? Was it planned in advance, or did Donald Trump instigate a riot? Well, the Democrats, here's what they do. They lick their finger, and they're like, well, what are the political wins today? Today we got to attack Donald Trump, so he definitely instigated a riot. So that's point number one. And now you'll see it. You can never unsee this now that I mentioned to you. They'll change the story based on what their political target du jour is. Number two, this has nothing to do anymore with January 6th. They're not talking about security failures. They're not talking about what went wrong, about ECA reform, none of that stuff. They don't care. That has nothing to do with January 6th. What does this have to do with? This has to do with 2022. I thought January 6th happened in 2021. No. This has everything to do with November of 2022. What the hell? What in Hades do Sean Hannity's texts have to do with January 6th? The answer, nothing. What does Sebastian Gorka's emails have to do with it? The answer, nothing. Yet these are the people they're focused on. You have to ask yourself, why is that? Why? What do they have to do with this? Nothing. Nothing at all. Matter of fact, the texts counter their narrative. The reason is they want to make sure every Republican out there in conservative media and every donor out there understands that you have an election coming up. And you know what? Whoever you text and communicate with, you could be next. One more point here. Listen, and liberals, I get it. You're going to say this is whataboutism. You know what? The verdict is in. You are correct. This is whataboutism because it's what about principles. If there's an insurrection on January 6th, then what the hell is what happened at that Portland courthouse with a 30-day siege where Antifa tried to burn a federal courthouse down for over a month?
Peaceful, Dan.
While people were inside. Lawrence, what happened in the American cities to all of these residents who were sitting there fearful? I had people calling me from New York. I'm not kidding, saying, Dan, do you know any former Secret Service agents who will sit in my drugstore? They're going to come in and steal all the drugs and put me out of business. This happened not just once, multiple times. What about that insurrection? What about that? The answer is, what about your principles? They don't have any. Kamala Harris wanted to bail these people out with the Minnesota Freedom Fund. They don't give a damn about this stuff. They just want to make a political point.
You know, Dan, it's deeper than that. So you thought sleeping with a Chinese spy was bad.